Hey everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you being here. So I wanted to talk to you about feminine energy and the truth about feminine energy, because there are some things that I've been talking to my clients about behind the scenes, and I'm like, I should make a video about this because this is so important. So I'm going to tell you what feminine energy really is. And I think there's a lot of misconception about what it is and how to create it and what that really looks like. And just understanding like the truth about it and how it's something that's so accessible to you. It comes from inside you. It's not something you buy or a certain way that you have to look. It's not, having a certain type of social media or being a cookie cutter version of something that you think you're supposed to be. It's really not any of those things. And this is also for men out there. If you identify as a man, this video can really help you, because men really struggle when they lose the connection to their own feminine energy. And we all, as human beings, are made of both feminine and masculine energy. In the energy world, there are two types of energy, and the masculine is the physical and the structure, like time and schedule and taking action and working. But the feminine is the spirit and the energetic and the frequency and all the unseen aspects of life. And they really are 50-50. They're very equal, and they exist in a unique combination in each one of us. Every human being has both feminine and masculine energy. And so I'm going to tell you three really important things about the truth of feminine energy that I hope quenches your thirst for knowledge about this, because I know there's a lot of people who really want to know more. So basically, the first thing I want you to know is that we all desperately need feminine energy, because the imbalance in the planet, the imbalance that we're going through as a society, is basically a lack of feminine energy. That's the problem we're facing, because what the feminine is looking at the world not just as a physical place. If you look at the world just as a physical place, well, we're here to survive then. And yeah, money is the most important thing. And, beating down someone else to take their spot is the way you do it. And so there are elements of that you can see around us. Trying to get more power for oneself individually. You see that in the government. Lots of mistakes being made. And these aren't new mistakes, you guys. And I'm not even saying I haven't made that kind of human error. We all do. But it's like, it's important to catch ourselves and to have the awareness that we need, which is that we don't just live in a physical world. We live in a physical world, but the world that creates that world is the energy world. And so, yeah, the physical world matters. Yeah, you need to have money and you need to survive and all those things. But there is a world that comes before the manifestation. There's something that happens somewhere else before you see it happen in the physical. There is something going on energetically that creates karma and cause and effect and miracles and blessings. And we are alive, and we don't know where we came from. We don't know where we're going. There's something deeper than just the physical. And so to treat the feminine and the masculine equally is something we're being asked to do right now. And what that means for most of us, including me, everybody is going through this, is lifting the feminine up to be equal. Because what we've done is we've degraded the feminine. And you can see in history how we've done that. We have not treated women equally, and we're still facing that. We're still learning those lessons. They're really in our face right now. Things that don't make sense and need to change. And I think a lot of things are flaring up to become really obvious to us, which is a good thing in a way, because they need to get out of the way. We can't have these ridiculous assumptions about women and the feminine and thinking that the world is just about survival and just about power and just about money. We're seeing basically in the US government an exaggerated example of what that thinking looks like, and the flaws in that thinking, and the like how it's not positive and it's not inclusive, it's not loving. And love is the highest frequency in the energy world. That's the smartest approach. And so when you look at the world just from the masculine's perspective, you'll do things that don't make sense. When you look at things from a more balanced perspective, okay, we have the masculine, you know, the world, the physical world, but we also have the feminine, which is the spiritual world, which is the heart, which is God, which is about love. Love is the power that governs the energy world. So it's like to treat these equally and to challenge ourselves. To challenge yourself to be somebody who thinks about things beyond your physical eye, who thinks about how if you help somebody, that karma is going to come back to you. And I've been really playing with this recently, and your life will become like a fairy tale. Because in fairy tales, why fairy tales specifically are stories that have stood the test of time is because they contain a thread of really accurate truth, which is that most of the fairy tales that I started reading some to research this, and like the Grimm's fairy tales, a lot of what you see happen and a lot of what it's teaching us that's very accurate is that at one point early in the story, the main character helps another character just out of the goodness of their heart usually, and then the main character is in some kind of danger, and then the character that they helped becomes the one who saves them. It's like the karma comes back and saves them. And the evil characters are the characters that always get defeated and die in the end, which is accurate because negative energy never wins, positive energy always wins. Is that they don't care about other people. And that's consistent. Like they just care about themselves. They don't care about other people. The main character cares about other people. So what you can do in your life, something really practical that you can do is you can start to actually look at who, you don't have to think like I have to save the whole world. That can be overwhelming. Trust me, I know that. But you can look at who is being set in my path, who is being set in front of me that I can help, and what do I have at my disposal to help them with, whatever that is. And if you approach your life like that, you will literally start to see people being brought to you, situations that you have the capacity to improve with whatever it is, advice, a word, a hug, some money, something that you're carrying, an object that you can give somebody, anything, whatever it is. And that positive energy will at some point come back to you and protect you and help you and be there for you. I'm not saying that person will, but the providence will be there for you. And so it's like a really smart thing to do to help people. But I think I like this approach rather than approaching your life like, hey, you need to like go out there and like save the world every day. Like it's overwhelming sometimes. But instead, just live your life and watch who gets set in your path. Watch who and what and the timing of it and everything. Like just watch who is put in front of you, because it's so funny. It's like those are the opportunities for you to receive. Like when you're praying for something, I want you to really be aware of what I just told you, that sometimes you just get an answer from God, and sometimes God will give you somebody to help so that you created the karma to receive the blessing that you're praying for. I've seen that so many times in my life. Like I'm praying for something and then there's someone put in front of me and I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to help this person because I know that you're giving me the opportunity to help so that I can receive something that I want. And I'm not saying God can't just give you things, but I've seen that pattern enough to know that that's something that is happening. And that's where that's a more feminine perspective to look at the world with, that, hey, if you have only a set amount of money, the logic, if you're just looking through the masculine lens, and it's not that the masculine lens is bad, it's just that it's imbalanced if you don't include the feminine, which is a spiritual lens. But if you look at it just through the masculine lens, you look at like, I only have X amount of dollars, and if I give you this money, then I won't have, and then I'm going to be. But when you look at it through a more balanced perspective, which is including the spiritual, you realize when I give, I will receive. Like, it's going to come back to me, you know? When I become someone, and it's not just about money, it's about give in whatever way you can. Whatever it is that you have at your disposal. You won't be given situations that you can't help. You won't be given the inspiration and the you won't be given anything that you can't handle. And I remember one time, it's sometimes very uncanny and you don't really know what's going to happen. But one time I remember I bought like a candle, a large like candle of Our Lady of Guadalupe. I love Our Lady of Guadalupe. And if you don't know about her, highly recommend you look her up. And I was carrying it around, I just like bought it from CVS, and I was like, oh, quick, I like this is cool. And then I was walking along in the subway here in New York City, and there was like a mother with a child, and I didn't know that they were like waiting for someone to help them. I thought they were just standing standing there, like on her phone or something. But she looked at me and she said, "Can you help me?" And I was like, what do I have? What do I have to help with? And I thought of the candle, and I was like, it was kind of risky. I didn't know what she would think. I didn't know if she would appreciate that. But I just took out the candle and I said, here. And she was so grateful. I think she recognized Our Lady of Guadalupe, and she was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was like, she'll help you. Our Lady of Guadalupe will help you. And sometimes I do that with people here in New York. If I don't have something to give them, I'll say, I'll pray for you. What's your name? And I do pray for them. And that kind of thing can really help people too. It's like challenging yourself. If you are literally like someone gets put in your path, like being somebody who is walking this earth and living that way, it's like, you know what I mean? And that is including feminine energy in your life. So that might not be what you expected me to say first off about feminine energy, but it really is like that. It's about having a more spiritual perspective in your day-to-day life and believing in that more. And we all need feminine energy. I wanted to add that men desperately need feminine energy. And a lot of the problems men face are from not being connected to their spirit, addiction to porn. A lot of guys, my cousin, I don't want to get too personal, but my cousin recently killed himself, and I found out there was a there was a connection to a disconnect with feminine energy. And so I really caught my attention, that men, we can be so hard on men sometimes. And it's not that men don't make mistakes. I mean, it happens, but I think in general, we need to understand why those mistakes are happening. And even with addictions to drugs and alcohol, like you're wanting to uplift your energy. You're basically wanting to connect with your spirit. You're wanting to connect with the spiritual world. You're wanting to connect with God. Really, that's what the desire really is. So if you're a guy and you're feeling, any of those things going on in your life, I would really encourage you to actually start meditating, take a yoga class, go to church, pray, start learning about your energy. And by watching this, I'm sure if you're a guy watching this, you're already doing that. It's like, that is a really important part of your life. And when you have a more positive relationship with your spirit and the spiritual world, which is not just for women, that's for you too, in your own way. Like, you will not have that desperation for the feminine in the form of one specific woman, or you won't have, that addiction to certain things to try to get you to feel elevated. I think that's a really important thing to say. So I hope that helps somebody out there. Hope that helps you. Number 2, I want to talk about consumerism, because this is one way that women in particular get really controlled. So now I'll talk to you, if you identify as a woman, like man, like or woman, like, man, oh my God, it's like, it's just wacko. It's wild. It's insane. It's interfaces constantly. It just never stops. The companies basically telling us that we won't have feminine energy unless we have this product, or we shop at this store, or we give all our money to this celebrity who has a lot of feminine energy. It's like, we need to really get real with ourselves, you guys. Like, you can't buy feminine energy. You can't buy it. And that's what you really want. You know why? Because feminine energy is a brilliant spiritual technology inside of women specifically that protects your energy. Feminine energy, I've seen this in the energy world. Literally, a negative energy comes and it goes like that. So if your feminine energy is connected, like, that's why you look a certain way and you have this glow about you, and people treat you with respect, and you respect yourself. And, you know, it's like kind of like keeping all the negative shit away all the time, and things go well for you and all those things. You know, it's like, that's what you really want. You don't want that lipstick. You don't want to be that celebrity. Or like, I find, like, it's like, oh my God, okay, it's like, with, this is just an example, but like with the Kardashians, like, and I'm not criticizing them completely, but it's like, because feminine energy is great, but it's like, they have a lot of feminine energy and that's great, but like, I think it's a mistake for us as a whole to think that we don't have that inside of us, and that if we buy like their product that we will. I think that's happening a lot in society. Like, people are thinking like, I need to buy Skims and I need to buy the lip kit, and you have to really ask yourself, do I want the product, or am I buying into the illusion that I will be one of, like, I will be them, that I'll be a millionaire, I'll have their life, it's like, no, you're just gonna have the lip kit. So like, if you want the lip kit, buy the lip kit, but you have to realize that it's not going to turn you into Kylie Jenner. You're not going to get all the things that she has. You're not going to get her boyfriend or her lifestyle, but there's this illusion that we really do buy into, and that's why we are worshiping celebrities in general so much. Female celebrities in particular, I think we do this a lot with. It's like, we think that we're gonna be them somehow. We're gonna be like them. But you have to ask yourself, how do I be like that person? Like, how do I have the qualities that I want to have just through living my life? And the lip kit can make your lips look nice, and that's great, but you have to be really honest about why you're buying certain things, because women get so manipulated and our money gets sucked into so many places when what we're really desiring is feminine energy. And another way to get feminine energy is to have your energy cleared, which is what I do. I do sessions to clear energy, because like, there can be so many blocks and fears energetically in front of feminine energy in specific. Why? Because it's so powerful. And why? Because it's so misunderstood. It's because society just doesn't understand. And, you know, I have had a past life as a witch, and I was hung, and that's something that I still deal with. Like, I still have like a lot of physical neck tension that, thank God, is like clearing with my work. But like, these wounds can be so deep inside of our DNA, inside of our soul knowledge. And, you know, it can be really hard, because like, women, like, I don't know, even the whole witch idea, like, I just don't vibe. I don't like, personally, I just don't like, I don't understand it. It's like, I don't know, I'm just a woman and I'm powerful, and the spirit world is real. And like, I pray to God, and he also gave me a lot of abilities. Like, it all fits together in my view. And yeah, if you think about a woman in the 1700s, like, living in a specific region, having the abilities I do, for example, like, yeah, you're going to be killed for that. It's like, it's so wrong. And so feminine energy, spiritual work, spiritual knowledge has been so, you know, hurt. And so we have to realize, like, yeah, we do need to really treat this part of ourselves well, and also realize that the power that we have is so powerful that it's been downplayed and suppressed in so many ways. And even now, it's like, I find so many women are being disconnected from their feminine through consumerism, and through thinking that you don't have feminine energy, you don't have what you need inside, you need to buy this product, You need to buy that product next. And if you notice, like, it will never end. You'll never have all the products. That being said, we have the balanced perspective of feminine and masculine, and the products can be great to support you, but it's like, why are you buying them? You have to like really look at the intention. Like, am I buying this because I think it's going to make me into Kylie Jenner, or do I just like the lip thing? And it actually brings out my, you know, it enhances the feminine energy that I already have inside. I think that when I shop and like I feel good about what I buy, that's always the vibe. It's like, it's almost like you know that you have the feminine energy inside of you, and then the masculine things, which is the physical world, grounds and expresses that. Like, I love the color of this shirt, and yeah, so it's like, it's like feminine first, spirit first. Aw, kitty. Okay. And if you're wondering, the third thing I want to tell you, how you build feminine energy so that I'm not relying on things outside of me to make me feel that way. But instead I can, you know, buy things that express what I already have inside. Well, there are 4 pillars, energetic pillars to feminine energy. It's kind of like energetic ingredients. And what you do is you take each one of these and you use them in your life as guidance posts, basically, for building your feminine. So the ingredients are presence. Being more present equals being more feminine, having more feminine energy. Pleasure, Europeans are really good at this. Daily pleasure, whatever that means to you, whatever you like, pastries, color, singing, I don't know, sex, whatever it is, adding that into your life. So things that make you feel more present, whatever that is, what, like, literally, what, I don't know, having a nap, going to yoga, meditating, praying, not doing anything, literally being present. That's the number one. And then pleasure, things that you like, adding that into your daily life. Self-value, you got to really love yourself. That will build your feminine energy. Try to really work at that. Have boundaries, please. People treat you a way you don't like, don't get mad at them, but talk about yourself. Use I and me language. Don't blame people. You can't control people, but be like, yeah, this is how I see myself. This is what I allow and I don't allow. And I found that's a really good way to implement boundaries. And also just the way you live and the way you treat yourself, that can really communicate to yourself that you're valuable. Like, how do you keep your living space? How do you dress? How do you, if you want something, what do you tell yourself about that? Do you tell yourself you can't have that? Or do you, you know, how do you treat yourself? Yeah, like, how do you treat yourself, especially when no one's looking, you know? Something to think about. And purpose. Why are you on this planet? You can be doing lots of things to survive, and again, we're not going masculine world survival is not important. We're going, there's just more to it. So you can do things to survive, but also include your purpose. Like, why are you on earth? What makes you feel the highest frequency? What are you doing about that? You got to do something about that every day. You got to take one step toward that, and that will build your feminine energy. So these are the ways that you actually build your feminine energy, is through those 4 things, just working on these 4 things. That's what I do every day. Eventually you create habits, and you will just continue to build your feminine energy more and more from within. And then you're not reliant on things, you know, and you feel more powerful too. You feel like you have this different quality. And that's what feminine activation really is. And I'm pretty sure I'm a feminine energy activator, just because that's like a specialty that I work with. But it's not like, I don't know, it's like, it's just feminine energy is a different expression in all of us. So it's different for everybody. It's going to look different for everybody. But basically, if you build those 4 things, then that's how you do it. And you got to just try and add those into your life, and it will make a difference eventually. Yeah. So the other thing I want to add is that I found that that's really important, you know, building a lifestyle where you include those 4 things to build your feminine energy, but also getting your energy cleared is so important, because if you have negative energy blocks inside of you and you're trying to build your feminine energy, I find that they really work against you. So I do recommend that. And I do energy clearing sessions if you're interested. I'll put my link in the description for a free consult with me. And thank you so much for listening, you guys. So I hope this helped you. If it did, please let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.